Afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Let me make sure I've got everything on there. Do me a favour, give me a 5B5, and I am gonna jump on here, hit my comment button, hit that back up there so I can see how many people are on the show. I've got paperwork everywhere because I've been quite fucking busy today doing a load of different things, and I've got to tell you something. I spoke to some lady, right? She would not get off the phone. 2 fucking hours on the phone to her. I'll give her a 5-minute call to just talk to her about something. Would not get off the phone. You know, one of them women who just keep talking. And the reason I'm saying this is because I know she's watching. Right? Anyway, this ain't going to be a long show because we're going over to 412, which means I've got to set up for it. And I hope this camera's going to hold out. There is something going on with the system. I don't know what it is. So I will say good evening to everyone, and don't forget to hit the like button. What I haven't done yet is put this out there. And there's some things going on in the background. I've said it in private to Lucy and Juicy and Lucy, but I will tell some other people. I've had a discussion with someone today, and it's could be quite significant. Right? So. Live, the full English show, show there. Right, hit that button. I'm going to send that out and put it out there. So it should have gone live on all the platforms. I've now got to bring this up here. Try and get back to this. 357 million. Woohoo! What's that? Look. Norman Stevens, Chaz and Dave. Chaz and Dave? What's Chaz and Dave? Is there something playing in the background that I don't know about? Richard Sudbury, evening DD. Sounds like Sarah Pochin going independent. Listen. I do think it's a bit on the strange side. I've got to tell you that she stood up and said, "We want. What would you think about banning the burqa?" And it appears that the chairman of Reform has stepped in and said, that's not our policy, right?" But it is also quite strange that the only person that has not responded to our petition. And bear in mind, this has also gone out to the Department of Public Prosecutions by law, is Sarah Pochin. And I just think to myself, well, you would at least respond to a petition that's got your fucking name on it, right? She hasn't. And again, whilst she can't really do it, she should at least acknowledge it, and she hasn't. And by Reform UK not acknowledging a petition, what they're saying is, we don't care if they cheated. Whereas she could have said, well, we would want a recount, a full recount, independent recount, right? But she hasn't. Why not? There was only 6 votes in it. So I've always been very concerned about Reform, and especially Nigel Farage. I believe 100% he's an absolute wronger. All he's doing is supporting the British, and so are the people supporting Reform, the ruling class, right? And they do not have the best interest of the working class, especially retirees, disabled, or anyone. I'll give you an example who is neurodivergent. And that means anyone, right? Even if you suffer from depression, that can cause a massive problem. So the other thing I will say is hit the like button. Only if you like me, of course, right? And I'll guarantee you any money you like. Let's hit the button. Oh, right. Our resident troll ain't come in yet. But there's some things going on with trolls in the background to do with the police. No, I won't say any more. Some of this is coming undone in their face, I tell you. Just to make sure you know, Susan Riley, why does the Speaker of the House not direct him to answer? Because the Speaker of the House of Commons is an absolute effing wrong 'un. That's why. Sorry to be so blunt, but he's possibly one of the most unconstitutional speakers of the Commons we've ever had. Sue Ellen, good evening, DD, and everyone. Thank you. I can't see the hearts coming up. I can see them coming up on the live, but not within, for some reason, within this. I wonder what my thing is. Let me have a look. Who was going to say? So a special shout out to Dawn. Right, Dawn, if you're there, send me a message so I know it's you. Right, you can say something that only me or you would know, and then I would not know where it's come from. I'm looking for the message. June Gower, they are all tyrants. I agree with you. England flag. Change my picture. Ray Edmonds. Tracy has a birthday today, and every chance won't be here who can help promotions will be grateful. Tracy has a birthday today. Well, it's Tracy's birthday. Are you telling me it's Tracy's birthday? Is it Tracy Truism's birthday today? Right, are you ready? If this is is it Tracy Truism's birthday today? Ray Edmonds, you're going to have to help me out with that one. Floating Spirit 101. Okay, Floating Spirit 101. I did oi Savaloy DD. She's quite funny. Chocolate Lad, hi Guna Mum. Evening Deanne. Hi Staffron, Deanne. Who else is out there? I'm English, not British. Hi, Sue Ellen. Heart. Ray Edmonds, yes. Elaine Mook, yes. Guna Mum. In Parliament, don't they think they have rules and responsibilities? They think that they just tradition because they're so big-headed. There are a lot of rules that govern the Houses of Parliament, and it's highly constitutional, and they're ignoring most of it, I must say. Happy birthday, Tracy. So just to give you an example, a couple of, I've been looking at a few things today. I've sent off a load of paperwork, loads of people I have now sent off the ivermectin to. So again, ivermectin, there's a touch left, right? I think I've got some left. Well, I don't think I've got some. I think I've got 10 strips left. Right, that's it, right? They're the 20 milligram. If you want them, you need to send an email. This is really important because someone misspelled ivermectin, right? And that person I've already sent them to. But I was thinking, where's his email gone? And I was looking for it and I couldn't find it, right? So you put in the subject line, you must put ivermectin. You then put how many strips you want, your full name and address, right? The minimum is 6 strips. I've got 10 left. So the first person who says 10, I will just put them in an envelope and send them to you, right? And then you pay, I don't know where I've put it, but I'll put it again. But when you receive them, you then pay me, right? It is only for people that watch this show. So unless you follow them instructions, I literally don't send anything out, right? It's only the people who watch the show. Jules, blessings, emailed you. I emailed you. Jules, yours are on the way, right? Just to make sure you understand that. Slimming, hi Sue Ellen, everyone out there. Right. Everyone who watches the show who has sent me an email with ivermectin correctly spelt, in the subject header, you say how many strips you want, minimum of 6, right? No maximum. And then give me your full name, address, including postcode, right? And then if this lot runs out, the next lot will get in, you'll be first on the list. So make sure you still want them, whatever happens, right? And then just say to me in the email, even if you've run out, send me, the next lot will come in, will you send me some? And I'll say, yeah, right? That's as simple as that. And you watch them, I was taking them last night. There's lots of different bits going on. I may not be on the show tonight. Feeling kind of drunk last night, and aunt and uncle here now, so gonna have to drink them under the table. Happy birthday. Oh, right. So it is Tracy Tourism's birthday, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to give Tracy a very special birthday. Are you ready? We're all going to sing to her because it's Tracy Tourism, right? The lady that sends out all the bits and pieces and has to try and work out what to do on the website, etc. Are you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy Tourism. Happy birthday to you. Hey! She's 40. It's a big 40, right? So you need to send as many happy birthday wishes in the chat for her as possible so everyone can see it. Let me have a quick look at that. So I've got the reason I put dots, in case you're watching, is because I've got a camera in the way of my screen and I've got to reposition the camera, right? And I have to put a dot in to raise the message up. So I put a dot in and the message goes up like that, right? Here's something in I like and don't like, and it changes the lights considerably. I'll try video what I mean. Okay. No, there is. So you only have to like it once. Press the like button. That's it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget that we're going over to the 412 channel tonight. So if Ray's got that link, hopefully he can put it in the messages and we'll go from there. Everyone is saying happy birthday. So Jules, don't forget I have sent you what you asked for. I don't like the King step in, dissolve Parliament. Why don't? Because you should do, is the answer. But the King, in my view, has already abdicated. Now, there's a lot of people still talking. There is a really good conversation I had today with someone who's quite prominent in the truth movement. And all I can say is watch this space because something is coming up that will assist our case. I will tell people. I've told Juicy and Lucy no, but I don't really want to announce it. I want to get it all done, put it in, and when we get there, June the 13th, I will submit more evidence, which is what we've got. So there is another very good statement, a statement of truth, signed witness statement coming from someone else explaining the election frauds. Quite a prominent person. That's all I can say at the moment, right? And they have agreed to make a statement for the High Court. Cockney girl, love it. Let's have a look. Slimming, few, thought I was going mad. Why? What's going on? Happy birthday, Tracy, 4th of June. The number of law and order. Is it? 15th of June. Was it the 12th of June? Was it the 12th of June? I can't remember. Magna Carta. Someone else sent me an email today telling me how important the Magna Carta is, and we put far too much emphasis on the Bill of Rights. So I sent him a reply and said, what you should know is I talk about the whole Constitution, not just, and he was babbling on about juries. Again, if you read the history of juries, these people haven't got a clue. Women wasn't even allowed on juries until 1919, right? So don't come at me with a Magna Carta and juries and all that bollocks, right? Because you're talking nonsense, you're talking shit. I'm not interested, and I'm not interested in arguing with you. So I blocked their email, right? So the best way to get blocked by email from me is literally start talking shit. Ray Edmonds, 421-412. Your dyslexia is coming through there, son. On Rumble, 9 p.m. And again, I will be on that and have a chat. And then we're going to go through, probably going to be on Peeled or we will be unpeeled. I have to put a dot on here again so I can see that message. Let me have a look. No, what I'm trying to tell you is if you like, then wait, unlike, and immediately it goes up a lot. And it can manipulate the likes. I'll explain to you when I see you. Okay. There you go. So we got quite a bit going on. And again, don't forget, right? God loves a trier. There's one sure way to fail. I want everyone to understand this. It is absolutely crucial you understand this. The one sure way to fail is to do nothing, right? And again, and I've got my funny little juice here, which is because I'm back on a fast. Yes, I am going to attempt to do a 3-week fast, right? Because I want to get my weight back down to a certain thing, and I'm going to be exercising every day. Any ladies out there, listen, you know what I'm like, right? Don't forget Houseby's Laws of England. I've got to go and pick these up. I think next week I've got to check my diary. But nothing I say to you on this show is not backed up by real law books, right? Including them ones behind. No, this is not a green screen, right? It's really important you understand that. These are real law books. I do spend my entire time reading law, right? And one person said to me, I don't know how you do that. I find it so dry. I said, because when you read it, I don't just read the law. I then read the history behind it, the preamble, go back and look at the story of what actually created it and why they created that law. And when you look at the story, for example, the Magna Carta wasn't just about the Magna Carta. It was about the Charter of Liberties, and they'd already started to abuse that. And the Baron said, I've had enough, right? Again, the second thing that people do not realise is a charter is a law, right? It's the same as a statute. It's just they called it a charter then. They only started calling them statutes with the first statute of Westminster when they expanded the franchise, right? So everyone needs to understand exactly what's going on. Heritage can, hi Daddy. Why don't you like people talking about the Magna Carta? It's not that I don't mind. Listen, there's no problem about talking about the Magna Carta. I talk about the Magna Carta all the time. But when you only talk about the Magna Carta and you think, and these people out there are all saying, it's just about the Magna Carta, fuck off, right? You are a foreigner. You're not English, right? You're a foreigner, right? Quite simply, fuck off, right? Because you clearly don't understand our constitution. You don't understand where our constitutional rights come from. And it's called a common law constitution for a reason, right? So when people, all they talk about is the Magna Carta and say that's what we've got to go back to, what I say to them is, okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to start pressing people, right? Come out with a wrong answer, right, for the court. They pressed you to death. What does that mean? They suffocate you, right? They put weights on your chest, right? Go and read fucking history. Simple as that. So I'm not saying to you I don't talk about the Magna Carta. Of course I do, right? But the Magna Carta is a fraction, a very big fraction, but it's a fraction of our constitution. That's all I'm saying to people, right? And all of these people who are fucking lazy, right, can't be asked to read a law book, get on YouTube and start saying, doing it like there's a certain group of people, right? I'm not going to say who they are. You should all know. They're like a cult, right? And I remember one time someone sent me a video where this group, this so-called law group, right, had said that equity courts have juries. I was like, what? An equity court, it was the Star Chamber, right? Star Chamber was an equity court, right? It's a judge-based system. There is no fucking jury, right? And then you listen to these people and you think, have they ever read? Do they know anything about the law, right? And then when you start looking at their history, you realise they might be a bit wacky, right? Which I ain't got a problem with wacky people. I quite like wacky people, right? But they're doing it for a different reason. And you think, are they narcissistic? Is there some reason why they don't like the English? Oh, it turns out, they're Irish and Scottish, and that's why they call themselves British. And they don't like the English Bill of Rights, right? And when you start looking at history of the English Bill of Rights, right, there's a number of reasons why people don't like it. Right? And one of them reasons is it forbids Sharia. It forbids Jewish law or Hindu law. You cannot, and Christian law, by the way. So gone are the days when a vicar or a priest could say, you've offended against God, and lock him in the vestry, or worse, right? Or fine you, right? It's unlawful. You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to bring the religious laws into English law. You're protected by the English Bill of Rights. But it also says of like nature, Sharia, right? It's unlawful in this country. It's completely banned. You are not allowed to operate a Sharia court in this country or a Jewish court. But of course, no one wants to talk about the Jewish court, right? No one wants to talk about kosher. We need to ban non-stun killing of animals. Of course we fucking do, right? But they turn around and they say, oh, but we're going to ban halal. Yeah. Well, let's ban kosher as well. It's the same thing. And by the way, there is already a law in place that they are only to supply their own community with it. They're not allowed to put it on major supermarkets. They are only allowed to supply their own community, but everyone ignores that. Halal, thank you. Neil Phillip has just said, happy many returns. I can't play that, but I will play it later. So far, respondent, respond, I've misspelt that. I've just seen that on the screen. I'm always doing it. If I type it quick, I'll end up missing things. Ray Edmonds. So, Heriton, do you think codifying a constitution akin to what Americans have would help? Absolutely not. Heriton, or whatever your name is. No. Right? The common law constitution is the greatest type of constitution in the world. What caused the problems, and is causing problems in America, is the codification of it. If the common law and the common law constitution and the separation of powers, which is crucial to our constitution, was operated the way it should be, rather than the Politburo, which is currently and the Crown and the judiciary handing their powers wrongly to Parliament, which is what they've done. And again, the Bill of Rights, nowhere does it say Parliament is sovereign. In fact, it says the reverse. Right, so I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. But again, getting back to these other idiot people on YouTube that have never appears to it, and they seem to focus their attention on administrative law, which is technically unlawful. It's an alien legal system, and if they've got any Scottish heritage, which I think they have. Right, that is why they're continuing to do what they do. Right, and the particular person I'm talking about is illogical, and to get me on a platform that start telling lies, and then someone said, "Have you seen this?" And who's on this platform? And they're promoting me, right, to get people. So it looks like that I endorse them, which I absolutely do not endorse them. There's very few people out there that I endorse, right? Let me have a look and see if I can find one of the persons that I endorse. Let's see if I can find his name on here. Let me have a look and see if I can find him. You'll all know who it is. Was it? Did I keep calling him the wrong name? The one I kept calling the wrong name, you'll know who it is. You'll all tell me. What is his name? He's on, because there's two different groups. One group is a bad group and one group is a good group, and they got a very similar name, which is really bad. But the good group is, well, sort of all right. One or two of their people who go on there are shit hot, and one of their presenters is very good. But I can't find it on there at the moment. Let me have a look. Let's have a look. I'm sure I called him Damien, and his name was something else. I'll find him in it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Damien. Who is proper not only is he a good Christian, he is one of the hosts of Sovereign Empowerment, right? So I don't endorse everyone on the channel or everything going on there, but I do endorse Damien. That's it, Damien, right? And they actually get results and use the right law. But I'm going to make sure everyone understands this. 100% understands this. You know about common law assent. There is a group on Facebook, which I'm not going to get into. They are one of the worst groups ever. And I could name the people involved, right? They are pretty nasty in the background, and they're very like communists, right? In the way that they operate. So I don't get involved with any of them people. Let me have a look. Nobody must be above the law of England and Wales, whether a king or a peasant, no matter the colour of our skin. No, I agree. I absolutely agree. The law is equal to everyone. And again, English law, English constitutional law, nowhere does it mention the colour of your skin or race. Right? It does mention religion for a very good reason, but it does not mention colour of your skin. And by the way, just to make sure you all understand this, because it's really important, right? Very much get this one thing, that Islam is a religion, not a race, right? It's got white people in it, brown people in it, black people in it, all sorts of people in it, right? But it's not a bit of me, right? It's as simple as that. And if you go to look at Saudi Arabia, for example, you cannot have a church in Saudi Arabia, as far as I know. It's highly restricted. Even in Israel, if you're caught preaching the Bible as an evangelistic Christian in Israel, they will arrest you and send you to prison, right? So you tell me. Let's have a quick look. Ray Edmonds, 412, Anon, Rumble, 9 p.m. Well done, because I've still got to set up for that, so I'm not going to be on there that long. I may be on here another 10 minutes. I did want to show you something, right? Let's see if I can find this. I wonder if Stacey's watching. Stacey, are you watching? You got some competition out there, Stace. I don't know. I'll talk a good game. I've got to tell you something. Listen, I'm still single because I focus on books. Right? Women go, ooh, don't like that. Right? The Jews hate Christ and Christians. It's mad that millions have been conned into thinking they're as great as Allah. I absolutely agree. If you was to read the Talmud and go back to Louis the, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Louis the IX, the French king. Don't quote me on it because I'm not into kings. They picked up 10,000 handwritten copies, and one of the Jews that left the Jewish religion and become a Christian went and talked to the French king and said, listen, you better understand what it is that the Jews are saying about Christ and Mary and the rest of them. And the king said, what are they teaching? And he translated it all and told the king everything, all the little bits and all that. This was hundreds of years ago. So the French king ordered, round up all of the books, and they literally had fucking thousands of them, I think 10,000 copies, right, of handwritten the Talmuds, and burnt the lot. But when you try and mention that to someone like, I don't know, let's say Tommy Robinson, no. The Jews are our friends. All right. Who's paying you then? Noticed he's still with his British barristers and British this and British that. Some people know the coup and know that the British are the enemy. They are the ruling class and the ruling oligarch. And the only ways we're ever we need to remove it in one way or the other. Of course, there's always a compromise, but the compromise would never favour England. So my absolute target is to avoid the Acts of Union, go back to the way we were as a common law jurisdiction, and get rid of all these people and go back to distributed governance, which is the way that we should be. But I do want to show you something, and I don't know where it is. All right, let me see if I can go and find it. There it is. So there is a really great. Let me see if I can copy this while I'm here. I'm a bit worried about putting this out there. Not because it's that bad or anything like that. It's because it might interrupt with my camera. So I'm going to put this on there, and I'm going to share this link, which I have just put out there, right? So it is well worth a read, right? I'm not saying, like everything, I'm not saying I agree with absolutely everything, but I'm seeing all my messages, by the way. Briefing note that this is Civitas, and I've got some great books over there on Civitas, from Civitas, and an ex-Labour MP sent me a load as well, who liked me. She was like my local MP. Briefing note, the Supreme Court and Article 50, what Dicey really said, right? So David Green, 3rd of December 2019. Have I got enough time to go through it? I doubt it, but we'll do as much as we can because, and I've sent you the link, right? So you can all go and read that yourselves, right? Let me put it out there again. In November, the High Court decided that the government had no power to give notice to leave the EU under Article 50. Right? That was a wrong decision, by the way. The EU would entail changes in the law that embodied the rights of citizens. Such changes could not be brought about by the prerogative power, but only by primary legislation in Parliament. The court considered the referendum only advisory, even though the parliamentary debate was made clear that the decision would be implemented by the government. This is where Lady Howe, for example, and various other Supreme Court judges are not constitutionalists, right? On the 5th of December, the Supreme Court will hear an appeal against the High Court decision. The decision in the High Court should be reversed because it wrongly interpreted our Constitution. The judges argued that the prerogative power was being used to take away rights granted by primary legislation in the form of European Communities Act 1972, but it is not being used for that purpose. The government has said that it will repeal the European Communities Act. It should have made it void by putting forward a great reform bill, which is bullshit. So what you've now got with the Great Reform Bill, just to make sure you're clear on this, is Ben Habib and others are still promoting that shit. Their thinking won't change because they're British, right? And they're wrong. The government has said that it will repeal the government has said it will repeal the European Communities Act by putting forward a Great Repeal Act. The prerogative power is being used to implement an act of Parliament. The EU Referendum Act 2015, which had cross-party support, and to honour the government statement in the official document, it circulated to all households, famously, a cost of 9 million. The government leaflet said, "This is your decision. The government will implement what you decide." And during the Commons debate, Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond had emphasised this is given decision to the British people. Right? The High Court argued that Dicey was still the leading account, but then went on to quote selectively from an introduction to the law of the Constitution and to ignore other passages where he explained his interpretation more fully. I absolutely agree with this, right? Because he actually said there are some laws that Parliament cannot repeal, right? And they are laws with certain words in them. For example, in perpetuity. For example, forever. which the Bill of Rights has got 3 times, in all time to come, etc. Them types of phrases, that's it. They're binding, and especially if it comes from a convention parliament, which is what the English Bill of Rights did. And don't forget, the English Bill of Rights protected the previous rights of the people, including the charters and statutes, right? The right to make and unmake whatever law, whatever, any and future, no person or body is recognised by the law as having a right to override or set aside the legislation of Parliament, page 20. This has the corollary, they thought that it cannot be said that law is invalid as being opposed to the opinion of the electorate, since it's a matter of law in Dicey's view. Now, I just want to make sure that everyone's aware of this. There's a book that I've got here, and it's called Constitutional Fundamentals by someone called Sir William Wade. It's from the Hamlin Lectures, where he clearly states, and he talks about prerogative, and he tells you what a prerogative is. And the prerogative is being abused and misused by Crown ministers, right? The prerogative is only a prerogative because the only person that can use a prerogative is the monarchy. That's it, right? If that prerogative was handed to someone else, it is no longer a prerogative. It's whatever else you want to call it, but it's not a prerogative, right? A prerogative can only be used by the monarch, right? And it's part of the problem that we've got at the moment, right? For example, prerogative of mercy has been handed to Parliament, and Parliament only shows mercy to its pals. Ernie Saldens is one of them. Remember the Guinness affair? Got 5 years prison for a major markets fraud. Said he had Alzheimer's. 6 months later, he was out. 6 months after that, he was back on the board. Miraculously recovered. Quotations are from the online edition and Introduction to Study of the Law of the Constitution, available here. So there's a link there. And not all of these things are correct, by the way, that's said it. So, but he is explaining it and it goes through it. So I'm not going to have enough time to go through all of it. But I do say that you should have a look at this, right? And read through it. And again, it's not. There are other things that people really need to understand about all of this. You know, we have a separation of powers. People like David Starkey, who is a historian, not a legal historian, doesn't understand that, doesn't get it, and basically is propagating the message because he knows, by the way, if we void the Acts of Union, homosexuality is unlawful again, right? Straight off the bat, homosexuality is unlawful. So it's obvious that there are a lot of reasons why people don't want the Acts of Union, because once you void, not repeal, void the Acts of Union, right? Everything that it gave authority to, meaning Acts of Parliament under the British Parliament, right, are null and void. Every one of them. They're all abolished. So you would reset to 1706, right? So you'd still have the Act of Settlement, you'd still have certain laws, you'd still have X, Y, Z. And it's up to us. And it means that all United Nations is gone. Balfour Agreement, gone. Palestinian Mandate Agreement, 1923, gone. Petition Agreement, 1947 or 48, gone. All right, all of it gone because it's been abolished. It would also mean that you put the British and the British Empire and the imperialist empire into administration, right? They may be able to go after the king for money. I wouldn't want to debate on that, but they couldn't come after us. And the assets of England are ours. The assets of Scotland are theirs. The assets of Wales belong to the Welsh. The assets belong to the people, right? And you would be removing a legal fiction, right? Bump, gone. And then all of a sudden you go back to being England, right? And distributed governance. And everyone would be a happy bunny, because then we could operate our treason laws a number of members of Parliament wouldn't last long in front of a real jury that understood the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But there you go. So I just want to make sure everyone gets that. So there is lots of information in that document. It would be interesting if people read it. And just to say again to any of them people, let me see if I can go and find it for you. Stop sharing and go back to that one. You really do need to understand that the Hamlin lectures were put in place for you, right? So instead of listening to these idiots on YouTube, this cult, and there's a couple of them, go and read the rule law. Read what Lord Denning said. Read what Sir William Wade said. Go and have a look at the videos on here. The reason why they don't like me, right, is because I'll tell you the truth, right? I've got no skin in the game other than the common law constitution, right? And I've explained on this show before why the common law constitution is superior to a completely codified constitution. So we've got a codified constitution. We've also got conventions, and we've also got the common law. But it's really important that people understand is we did have a codified constitution once during the interim with Oliver Cromwell, and it wasn't him that actually wrote it. It was, I think it was John Lambert, right, who actually wrote the Constitution. If you look at Article, I think it's Article 39, it's very clear what it says. Any law created by this Parliament that goes against the rights of an Englishman are null and void, right? So, by the way, I will be bringing that up at the election court. So when they turn around and say, you cannot use this, I'll say, oh, yes, we can. It's legal history, whether you like it or not, right? It is the difference between being one of these barristers, King's Counsel, a judge. Oh, but we must back up the king, right? We must back up our British system. No, right? So the people who are letting you down are them, right? I am going to have to say good night, God bless to those. But now the link has been put in there. I suggest you go over to the 412 channel, otherwise known as We the People, I think it is, or 412 Productions. The link's in there. I'll wait for them to put it in. So you can jump on peel.net or you can jump on Rumble because the link has been put in there, because I very much enjoy speaking to our friend Adele. Very intelligent man and a proper true patriot of the United States of America. And don't forget, he has had some good people on his show. Kash Patel. Right? So he's connected. And he wants to talk about our case. By the way, I do know that the Department of State has received my petition and covering letter. So again, we want as many people as possible to send that out. It'd be very helpful when you do it. DD, my heart. What's that in there? Right, that's it. I'm crossing over to the other side. Good night. God bless. Don't forget, the whole of the audience needs to move over to that link on Rumble, and then hopefully you'll be on Peeled. But when you get over there, say the English, or the Welsh, or the Scottish, or the Irish have arrived. We're here, right? Because he loves it. Because it just lights up. Right, and he just says, "I love your audience." Right, everyone loves this audience because you are the best people in on this platform anywhere. Right, you are some of the finest people I have ever met, and it makes me very proud to know every one of you, especially when we have an event and you all turn up to help us. You're fantastic people. Sometimes you might ring me and I'm a right miserable bee, but all work and no play makes, is it John, a miserable bee or something like that? Anyway, that's it. I'm off. See you soon. Go over to the other platform. Au revoir. Tilly Boo. Go on then. Go.